What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Sinead O'Connor as we continue through her Universal Mother album. Though I did want to give, once again, a special appreciation to Sinead's version of Silent Night, which I reacted to during the holiday period, which was a very stunning and moving rendition of that tune. But yes, we're going to listen to two tracks here because someone mentioned last time that the next tune or the next cut in the album is a poem sung by her son Jake. So I figure we'll do that and the next proper track. So the poem, which again I understand to be sung by her son, is Am I a Human? And the next tune after that is Red Football, a name I'm very intrigued by. So Am I a Human? I suppose it speaks to identity. Now, I don't know if this is a poem that's actually thought of by her son or whether he's actually reciting it from some text or source. But yeah, it speaks to identity and maybe even understanding what it means to be a human, because if you think your behavior or your perception or your mind might fall outside the normal or what is expected, I suppose the question could come, well, am I a human if I'm thinking this way or if I seem to be this way? Now, maybe it's just more simple than that. Maybe it's just a clever little rhyme. Nevertheless, Red Football, I really don't know what to do with because, I mean, football, obviously I'm thinking round ball because that is the way the word is used in most places around the world and by a lot of Americans too, I should say. But yeah, so it's seemingly a reference to something very specific. Now, I suppose football could be a metaphorical usage, it could be something that exceeds the literal meaning of the word itself in a modern context, but then applying red to it as an adjective or modifier, I'm less clear with what to do with that. It did make me think when I looked at it that in some places where there's a lot of winter weather, but where professional leagues continue to play, they actually use a bright orange football so as to, be visible in snowy weather. I doubt that has anything to do with the title, though as I said, it's a bit cryptic to me, so let's just listen and see what I can pick up. This is Sinead O'Connor. We're first going to hear Am I Human, which I understand will be sung by her young son, and then we'll hear Red Football.
Am I a human? It's very good. Maybe I am. It's very nice. The feelings in me and the fire keeps me warm.
I'm not no red football to be kicked around the garden, no, no. I'm a red Christmas tree ball, and I'm fragile. I'm not no animal, though I am to you. I'm not no crocodile, like the one in Dublin Zoo, who lived in a cage the length and breadth of his body, with a window which people would look through, and throw coins on his back to taunt him, though he couldn't move, even if he wanted to. I'm not no animal in the zoo. I'm not no whipping boy for you. You may not treat me like you do. I'm not no animal in the zoo. My skin is not a football for you. My head is not a football for you. My body's not a football for you. My womb is not a football for you. My heart is not a football for you. I'm not no animal in the zoo. This animal will jump up and eat you. I'm not no animal in the zoo, and I've every intention of leaping forgetting you. La 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 la.
Holy shit. Sinead does metal. Okay, so it does seem like maybe Am I a Human was actually just an improvised, unscripted performance by her son that they happened to get recorded, which is, it's sweet. It's funny, and yet that last line about, enjoying, what was it, enjoying the feeling, or being warmed by the fire, there's a perception in that perhaps belies his years, despite, or based on how young he sounds there. So I enjoyed that, though it is, seemingly just kind of a connecting bit between the songs. But red football here, wow. So yes, lots of metaphor at play, and football being a direct reference, though a figurative one. And I like how she's saying, it's a tune that for most of it is sort of soft and mellow and just calmly pulsing, but it's very strong already. It's very defiant even, and self-empowering, and she's staking out her own integrity and saying she's not here to be kicked around. Her body isn't here to be kicked around. Her head, her womb, her emotions, her heart, they are not here to be kicked around like a red football in a garden. And she says, it's more like a red ball on a Christmas tree, fragile. And so I enjoy the use of those metaphors. And it's interesting because in one way she's saying, and using double negatives, so there's a bit of a kind of folksy flavor to the phrasing, but she both has sympathy for the crocodile in the zoo and other animals in the zoo who are sort of peered at and mistreated and not really in a position to do anything about it because they're in this cage, and even if they wanted to rise up against this mistreatment and sort of voyeurism, they can't do that. So in a way she has sympathy for the crocodile, for the other animals in the Dublin Zoo, and creatures in that scenario by extension, but she's also drawing a distinction. She's saying, I'm not one of those things. I can leap up and bite you, eat you, swallow you whole, and she has every intention of doing that should this other person continue to abuse her, to mistreat her, to use her as a thing, an object that can be kicked around and used for their own purposes. So in that regard, I suppose it does harken to the concept of domestic violence or violence against women, and though I think you could interpret it more broadly, just the idea of anyone not wanting to be mistreated and taken advantage of or exploited or just treated callously, I think it hits in a certain way because she's talking about her heart, maybe her emotions as it relates to another person, her physical body as it relates to another person, her womb as it relates to another person. So it sounds like a song that is self-empowering, defiant, but also indicating fragility, and also, I think, speaking to a strong female perspective vis-a-vis the violence and submission or suppression of them that has unfortunately characterized all too much of human history and right on into the present. So yeah, it's a very powerful tune, short, and then after all that we just go into this wild and increasingly fast, energetic, and a bit edgy rock/metal conclusion to the song, which blew me away and I found very compelling. And I'd love to hear Sinead do a formal metal song, because that just that last minute or so was incredible. And obviously we had those non-lyrical vocals which kept increasing in pace at the same time. So a stunning track, absolutely enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.